Today, a special bowling competition as the world's greatest bowlers pair off, showcasing the best on the PBA 50 Tour, top talent on the PBA Regional and PBA Women's Regional Tours with the Teen Masters Grand Championship. All competing at Geico PBA World Series of Bowling 7 presented by Silver Legacy. Coming up next, it's the PBA Challenge. Four championship matches on today's show, and the four champions will meet at the end of our competitions in a special bonus PBA Challenge Clash. And hello again, everyone. Mike Jakubowski with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Kimberly Pressler reports laneside today. A season-long points race in 3 divisions of PBA competition resulted in match play here at the World Series of Bowling. The top 2 in each division are here for championship matches. And Randy, great matches across the board.
Across the board indeed, Mike J. Our men's matchup featuring former Player of the Year Patrick Allen taking on last week's runner-up in the doubles competition, Josh Blanchard. Our women's matchup features Danielle McEwen, who had a breakout season last year, and Angelimar Beasley. We have a Teen Masters Grand Championship competition. But we're going to kick things off Hall of Fame style. PBA 50 Hall of Famers Parker Bone III and the defending champ Amleto Monicelli. Great matchups in store for us today.
Great championship matchups across the board, and Kimberly Pressler is with our first matchup.
I sure am. Amleto, you won this last year. How do you successfully defend against Parker today?
Well, I'm going to try to do the same thing I did last year. It's a little different, but I'm going to just stay focused, make good shots, and try to read the lanes properly, the right way.
Well, good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Parker, you just finished up practice. What are your thoughts on how you're going to attack the lanes today?
Well, I think I'm going to stay with the extreme outside angle, trying to go straight up the lane, using the lane to my advantage. Hopefully, I feel like I got a little mistake room in, and, well, I'm going to hope that it's there when I need it.
All right, good luck to you today. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kimberly. The PBA Challenge Clash. All 4 champions will finish off our show in an eliminator format featuring all of the winners. Each player will throw a shot, low pinfall eliminated, and the Challenge Clash will be filled out as we move along today. PBA 50 competition between 2 Hall of Famers. Amleto Monicelli will begin. And 6 around the 10. Monicelli is filling in for Pete Weber, who had to pull out of this event due to injury.
Amleto from Barquisimeto, Venezuela. 54 years old, but boy, you wouldn't know it. Talk about shape. This kid here is in fabulous shape. He said, Randy, you know, you need to get in shape. I said, Amleto, round is a shape.
Open frame. Uncharacteristic miss of a single pull for Monicelli. Parker Bone III. 52 out of Jackson, New Jersey. 35 tour titles. 5th on the all-time list.
Won the Cheetah Championship just a few weeks ago at the World Series of Bowling. Anytime Parker can play the extreme outside part of the lane and the pattern's not excessively long, he's dangerous. Pretty good looking shot there to leave in the soft 7.
Parker Bone III picking up the 7-pin. The top 8 players on the PBA 50 2015 points list competed in a match play round Here at World Series of Bowling 7, Amleto Monticelli replaced Pete Weber, forced to withdraw due to an injury.
Yeah, Pete tweaked his hip during the World Series of Bowling, and it's been a long recovery for him.
4 slaps the 7, and a strike for Parker Bone III.
Beautiful shot and beautiful pin reacting to that bowling ball going through all 10 as the 4-pin cuts the 7 out. Boy, that's what you look for. Left-handed 4 into the 7, right-handers 6 into the 10. That's when you know your bowling ball is going through the pins the right way.
Monticelli after the missed single pin, and if you miss one, Randy, you normally see another one.
Well, in any language, and Amleto speaks 3 of them, you're not going to be real happy with the last 2 results. 2 really good shots for Amleto and 2 identical ring and 10s. But can you believe that when this kid first started on tour, well, this 53-year-old senior player, when he first started on tour, they tried to change his game. Never seen this type of form before, with that hand that's open at the top, that left arm straight out in front. They said, this guy's got no chance. Well, 19 titles later and Hall of Fame, I think Amleto knows what he's doing. Let's take a look at the oil. 41 feet World Championship oil pattern. Parker's playing out. Amleto's playing in between 2nd and 3rd arrow.
Oil tinted in blue, heavier concentrations in the middle, tapering off to the lighter concentrations on the outside.
There you go.
Strike for Monticelli, the 2012 PBA 50 Rookie of the Year. The PBA 50 Tour offers the opportunity for players over 50 to compete nationally, with 14 events, including 3 major titles on tap in 2016. The 2016 season begins April 17th in Newport Richey, Florida, and concludes in August in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Parker Bone III shakes out the bucket, except for the 6-pin. Parker with 2 wins on the PBA 50 Tour in 2015. 1 in Newport Richey, Florida, and 1 in Welch, Minnesota. If a player leaves and converts the 7-10 split on today's show, he will earn the $100,000 Ultimate Spare bonus courtesy of Ultimate Bowling. PBA 50 Challenge. Winner will move on to the PBA Challenge Clash. Light hit. Power mix takes them all down.
And that's the beauty of having angle to the pocket, which Parker has from the extreme outside part of the lane. You really throw that wood around. Right around 1st arrow, like Parker said in his interview with Kimberly, and pulls the string, and all 10 are down.
Amleto Monticelli also with 2 wins on the PBA 50 Tour in 2015, the USBC Senior Masters, and in Brentwood, California. 4th frame strike working into the nose in the baby split.
Yeah, he got it up the lane just a little bit.
The tremendous workout regimen is no myth. He's on the gym every day, running and cardio and stretching. And a perfect executed conversion of the baby split.
I roomed with Amleto a few times on tour back in the day. He tried to get me to do yoga once.
The benefits of inner peace. And this is your Hammer Tough Spare replay. Perfect. Ball touching the 3 and the 10. So you've got that going for you, which is nice. 5th frame. Right in the 2-10 split.
Boy, and you kind of saw it coming. A little too far to the right. It's going to hang for 210, and a little too far up and in, and it goes through the nose. Watch this shot here, just a little bit right. Now, a little softer speed, that works, but a little too much ball speed, and it's going to skate right off the end of the pattern.
Bonicelli won this event last year when he defeated Walter Ray Williams Jr. with a big 277 game. And open frame for Bonicelli. Here's a look at the bag of Parker Bone III. He's got out the Mastermind Brainiac. It's a 7.0 hook rating. That's hook potential on a scale of 10. That's not the strongest option he's got in the bag. He's up 24 and a strike working. Fifth frame.
Yikes.
The seventh.
Yikes. Here comes the lean, mean, left-handed striking machine, Parker Bone III. He is at home playing the outside part of the lane. He's made a small fortune over the years playing that part of the lane. This guy's a shot maker too, Mike.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and talk about the Bo Burton kiss of death. Just as I said, he was a shot maker. He yanks it a foot to the right.
Into the nose for the 247, but it brings up a good conversation point. What makes a good shot maker? What are the elements?
Hitting your target, being accurate. You know, practicing hitting your target, keeping your eyes on your target, watching the ball roll over it, instead of just spraying it like a sprinkler all over the lane.
Uh-oh, and the open frame.
I don't think that could have ended any worse for Parker after I said he was a shot maker.
The two-time PBA Player of the Year locking horns with Amleto Bonicelli. The PBA 50 Challenge rolls on. The famous Reno Arch welcoming all to the biggest little city in the world. PBA Tour Commissioner Tom Clark announced the 2015 PBA Player Awards on Wednesday. Australia's Jason Belmonte wins the Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year Award for the third straight year. Belmonte won his third straight Masters and his second straight Tournament of Champions titles in 2015. Sweden's Jesper Svensson earns the Harry Golden PBA Rookie of the Year Award. Svensson winning a pair of titles in 2015, one on the World Bowling Tour in Bahrain and one at Geico PBA World Series of Bowling 7. Josh Blanchard is the winner of the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award, and Ed Godbout claims the Tony Reyes Community Service Award. The Columbia 300 fun fact, Parker Bone III and Amleto Bonicelli have combined for 54 PBA Tour titles, 8 PBA 50 Tour titles, and more than $5.3 million in career PBA earnings. Now that's fun.
These guys are good. Some great careers that have lasted a long time as we take a look at our scoreboard. Amleto down 19, but he had some pretty good conversation during the break with tour rep Rob Gottschall. Let's see if it works.
10-pin race.
Rob told him, hey, you know, kind of just square everything up and move in a little bit. Try to find a little bit more oil line and something to hold your ball off if you do get it a little bit left. He says, you're good on the right lane. He says, the left lane, just try to inch in a little bit. But this is a beautiful shot. And look at that messenger from 53-year-old Amleto Bonicelli. Not only is he a great bowler and a Hall of Famer, but he's a great human being. You won't meet a finer gentleman than this guy right here.
Very nice, very considerate. One of the best things I ever saw was him re-racking for a new player on the PBA 50 Tour during a practice session. Very considerate of the 6-pin to fall in that situation for the double, cutting the lead of Bone to just 9.
So Amleto makes a ball change on the left lane, moves in a little bit, and watch this can opener. Look at the 6-pin. Oh my. Good stuff. 9 pins now.
Parker Bone III, 7th frame after the open.
Great shot. MJ, how big is that missed 10-pin from Amleto in the first frame?
Threw a good one. That's better.
Power mix, 5 dances to the ground. Leslie Bone and Justin and Brandon Bone, the family of Parker Bone, and how about the quintessential family man?
He is, indeed.
The family that plays together, stays together. The young men bowl. Leslie is a great bowler.
Yep. Amleto using 2 different bowling balls now. Really good shot there.
6 nudges to 10, and the lead is cut to 9.
And he could take the lead with another strike here on the left lane. Warrior Elite on the right lane, Swerve FX on the left lane for the man from Barquisimeto, Venezuela.
PBA 50 Rookie of the Year in 2012. PBA 50 is for players 50 and older. I took a shot last year and bowled in the season opening Pasco County event in 2015. And if you're 50 and over and you'd like to participate, the PBA 50 Tour, top flight competition. 6 around the 10.
Boy, sometimes there's just no justice in this sport, and there certainly isn't any defense for Amleto Monticelli. He throws another great shot, only to leave another ringing 10. That's 3 for the game. And the biggest difference in the scoreboard right now is those 3 10-pins. One of them missed in the first.
Oh, 1 left and 1 right.
Oh, you won't see that very often from that man. But he just gift wrapped this title, or excuse me, this match for Parker Bone III.
Non-title event. It's a season-ending event for the PBA 50 in this PBA 50 Challenge. Top 8 points earners. Bold match play in the top 2 will compete for this PBA Challenge Championship, and Parker Bone drops down that familiar left forearm.
A nice rebound from the open frame in the 6th. After I said what a great shot maker he was, Parker Bone comes back and makes great shots. Throws a 3-bagger.
Parker Bone III winning 2 PBA 50 titles in 2015, including that season opening Pasco County event in Florida. And then a winner at the Treasure Island Resort Casino in Welch, Minnesota, finishing up. Parker Bone III will advance to the PBA Challenge Clash at the end of our program today. And coming up, more action in the PBA Challenge as we roll on from the Kingpin Club at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, part of the Geico PBA World Series of Bowling. The PBA Challenge rolls on at the Kingpin Club in Reno, Nevada.
And in our PBA 50 Challenge Championship, Parker Bone III throwing the last 5 in a row against Amleto Monticelli, and he would win 231 to 183.
Better?
Yeah, it sure was, Parker. All right, now let's send it back down to the floor with Kimberly and Parker Bone III.
Thanks, Randy. Parker, so you followed the plan that you laid out for us at the beginning of the show, and it worked for you. You beat the defending champion, but how did you recover from that open frame in the 6th?
I'll tell you what, the open frame in the 6th, Amleto's 2 1-pin spares, we look like a bunch of PBA 50 guys bowling that match. Those kids on the regular tour will eat you up and spit you out. But I think the thing that was on my side is my daughter picked out these wonderful colors on this shirt. So thanks to Sydney at home, I had a little lady luck on my side.
That's right. Hi, Sydney at home. So this World Series has been pretty great for you.
It really has. You know, I started off the first game of the week, the very first game out of the gate with 300, and catapulted from there. It led me to ultimately winning the Cheetah Championship and standing tall when it was all said and done here for the PBA 50. Fortunately, I'm holding a trophy like I am right now, and I hope that there's more to come down the road.
Well, there is more to come because you still have to compete one more time in the PBA Challenge Clash at the end of the show. You got another win in you?
I sure hope so, but I think there I'm going to need a couple of strikes. No spares involved.
All right, seems like Parker is ready to compete again. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kimberly. PBA Challenge Clash will conclude with all 4 champions, but first, the Teen Masters Grand Championship. Bridget Jacobs takes on Brandon Sotomayor. And welcome back to the Kingpin Club at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. PBA Challenge continues with the Teen Masters Grand Championship. Mike Jakubowski with Randy Peterson, joined now by the founder of the Teen Masters, Gary Beck. When did the program start, and what is the vision and purpose?
Our first year was 1997 in Akron, Ohio. Our champion was Michael Fagan, PBA champion as well now. The purpose of the event is to prepare teens for the game of life through the sport of bowling.
Gary, I really applaud the fact that you brought skill to this competition. What was the genesis behind that?
We wanted the event to focus on the skills of the players, so we made as many variables as possible go away. Everybody's using the same ball. The only difference is how well they throw it.
Well, I think it's a great idea. Let's take a look at the oil pattern that the teens will be bowling on. 40 feet on the left lane, 30 feet on the right lane, and it's very flat side to side. And as Gary mentioned, the equipment the teens will be using, the PBA Skill 2.0 is a plastic bowling ball. The 3.0 is urethane bowling ball. They were introduced back in 2013 at the National Finals in Fort Lauderdale.
'17-year-old Brandon Sotomayor and 17-year-old Bridget Jacobs square off in the Teen Masters Grand Championship. The boys' national champion and the girls' national champion for an additional college scholarship. And Bridget Jacobs will begin the competition on the left lane, which is oiled 40 feet long. Gary, you throw every challenge you can at these kids.
I mean, they're bowling on about 7 milliliters of oil. It's very flat, and accuracy is approved.
Bridget Jacobs with an opening strike.
So Gary, 7 milliliters of oil compared to what is generally used on PBA Tour these days.
Well, the U.S. Open's the last event I know what the volume was, and it was 33 milliliters on each lane.
So it's kind of like we used to use about a thimbleful of oil per lane, and now it's like a shot glass full of oil.
And not only is that shot glass fuller, but it also is slicker than what you used to use.
Yeah, more viscosity.
Yes.
Brandon Sotomayor opens on the right lane. That's oil to 30 feet with 30 feet of dry on the back end. Opening shot.
Wow.
Get smashed for Sotomayor.
I got to be honest, I wasn't expecting that. Both teams come out throwing strikes.
I'm smiling. These kids have never been on national TV before. It's very intimidating, and to see them start off this strong, I'm relieved for them.
Well, if you watched the show last week, the winners of the doubles event were kids. One was 18 years old, the other one was 23, and they came out just like this, fearless.
Each player on a strike. Team Masters Grand Championship, second frame, Sotomayor.
Oh my.
And a mixing strike, 5-7 the last fall in opposite directions.
Brandon's got game, and lots of it. What a great hand at the bottom of the swing.
Qualifying results, Bridget Jacobs topped the field, Paige Beanie second, Megan Eaglehouse third, Brianna Lahan fourth. 42 games of qualifying consisting of 6 games on long oil, 6 games on short oil, 6 games on mixed pairs, and then match play, all in Las Vegas. A little light, and just a 2.
Gary, what's your take on the two-handed phenomenon that's really taking over the sport of bowling?
I'm not against it. Basically, if the player stays behind the line, I mean, we used to throw balls that only had 2 holes in them. In my day, you had to choose between accuracy and power, and it seems there is a new generation of players who've learned how to combine both. And if you have both accuracy and revolutions,
you should dominate.
Yeah, agreed.
Mr. and Mrs. Jacobs taking in the action, and a lot of parental support for each kid in competition. Teen Masters builds relationships for life as well, doesn't it, Gary?
We create quite a social event for the kids. We opened with Blue Man Group last year. We're closing with a cruise this year. We get the kids to spend a lot of time together with each other, competing with each other, but also becoming lifelong friends.
Bucket combination, missing the 4 and adding the 7 for Bridget Jacobs.
Tough spare coming up here. 2, 5, 7. Leaving the 2, 5, 7, 8. Good try, but leaves the back row. Brandon Sotomasto getting up on a double. Take a look at how he got here. 10,000 plus pins knocked down over 42 games. Take a good hard look, or a good close look, I should say, at this form and this style, and watch him how he creates the power at the bottom of the swing.
Light shakes out the bucket combo, just a 2 remaining.
Open hand release, cups that wrist and that elbow in the bottom of the swing. That's what creates the power. Comes in just a little bit light, leaving the 2-pin.
Gary, something consistent as Brandon makes the spare among every competitor is the fun they have while you challenge them. How do you get kids to have fun while they're being put to the test?
Kids like a challenge. They really do. They like to be tested. They don't mind failing as long as they think failure was caused by a fair environment. So, again, by eliminating as many variables as possible, they're able to analyze what went wrong, what went right, and they're able to take credit for both.
4th frame in our Teen Masters Grand Championship. Light in the pocket. Bucket combo shakes out, just double wood remaining. The 2 and the 8. The boys national champion and the girls national champion have already earned $7,500, and the winner will sweeten the pot. $10,000 on top. Going towards the college education via scholarship funds. Clips them both. Good spare. Sotomaster solid early, Randy. Bridget Jacobs is having plans to attend Maryland Eastern Shore.
Powerhouse of women's collegiate bowling, I might add.
The coach there is Kayla Bandy.
Yes.
Teen Masters alumni.
I've covered several of their NCAA events.
Big time player out of Pikeville College. And just the 4-pin. Bridget says she likes that there's no perceived advantage by equipment and that everybody has the same chance. Is that a common thread among players?
Yes, yes. Again, they like to understand if they fail, why they failed. I didn't match up is something that doesn't resonate with these kids.
Single pin spare attempt. Covered nicely by Bridget Jacobs.
So if I was bowling your event and I said I didn't match up, that I couldn't use that one?
You would get no sympathy.
Gotcha.
The kids would kind of turn their back and walk away.
But it's such a preparation for what's ahead in the sporting world, in the business world. There are many challenges to overcome.
Well, we talk to them before we start. You know, I ask them to look around the room. How many people do you see? Now subtract by 2. That's the number of losers we're going to have. But does that make, you know, if they don't win, does that make the event or the week a waste of time? No. They're going to struggle in their life, their classroom, their job, their marriage, other relationships. How do they deal with when things get tough?
this game right here is built around accuracy. You can see it in her delivery, her direction.
A big solid finish position, Randy.
Well, she's very solid at the foul line, finishes the same, but this is a young lady who practices hitting her target and making shots.
Back over to Brandon Sotomasto, who is considering his college options among a couple of different schools. And the funds will always come in handy pursuing higher education. 25-pin lead here for Sotomasto, and it's the 5th frame. He's working on a spare. Solid strike for Sotomasto.
It's impressive.
And there's Hari Sotomasto, Brandon's father. Sotomasto performs.
Speaking of performance,
double. Taking a 35-pin lead, Brandon Sotomasto. Impressive from the start. Bridget Jacobs with a very pronounced follow-through and a great game. Sotomasto has the lead. Back half of our Teen Masters Grand Championship when we return. The Teen Masters Grand Championship rolls on in the Kingpin Club. Brandon Sotomasto with a double working in a 35-pin lead over Bridget Jacobs. Mike Jakubowski with Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler, and Teen Masters founder Gary Beck. And Gary, players limited to the plastic 2.0 ball and the urethane 3.0 ball. A life lesson is you have to make work what you have.
yeah, in life when you're facing challenges, typically you have to look internally in order to deal with them. And in this environment, they can't just change balls. They have to figure it out on their own and make an adjustment with how they're throwing.
Flat 10 there, Andy.
Yep, just not enough drive through the pocket. Ball needed to be either a little right of where it entered or a little left. And guys, I mean, I get this whole concept, and I think it's great, but we still can't lose sight or vision of the fact that this sport has evolved into what it is today, which is understanding, knowing when to change bowling balls, layouts, understanding differentials, RGs. And you know, that's the environment that we're in. And I think that we should have a combination of both. I think these are great events. I think the pros, I would love to see this on a professional level, but I don't think that we can discard where we're at. And I think that the players on the big tour today, on the PBA tour, are great shot makers. They're great spare shooters, but it has gone from when I first started on tour to just being a shot making kind of game to being a shot maker and also juggling equipment.
7th frame, Jacobs into the nose for 7.
Now, the goal of the Teen Masters is not to convert the rest of the bowling industry to this. This is a unique environment. The kids who come into this like it. 98% of them believe it helps them in their other bowling. Results of our kids going to other major events proves that. At another major event, they earned scholarships at a rate that was over 2 to 1. So this does help them in the other, and they all participate in that other level of the game.
And I couldn't agree more, Gary. And you know, a lot of times I get asked by parents of their junior bowlers and teens, hey, what do you think my child could do to better themselves in the sport? And my response is always the same: bowl on something really, really tough, or take out a urethane ball and play second arrow right in the middle of the oil. And that's how you get better.
Brandon Sotomasto, 7th frame, big lead, string of strikes working. Additional college scholarship on the line. Our national champions battling to be the grand champion.
Look out.
Oh.
Oh, back from deep, and he splits the 8 and the 9.
You're not supposed to do that with a urethane bowling ball on a flat pattern. Let's take a look.
Opportunity.
Let's take a look at how Brandon gets this done in our track tech talk. guy's got a great game. It's the prototypical power game, and I want you to notice the bend in his arm and his elbow right here, and that's where he's going to cup the wrist and let her go. That's how you create the power. The other thing that he does, he gets the ball in the swing very, very early. Now he's on the left lane, the tight lane. Much more direct. You can't miss to the outside like he did on the right lane and expect to get it back on the 40-foot pattern. He knows that. He made sure that that ball was on line. What a great shot.
So you were surprised that the ball moved after he missed right, but we're only using 6 to 7 milliliters of oil, and these balls behave like bowling balls. They'll actually hook when there's only that little oil. You put them on 30 units of oil, these balls will skid through the pin deck. But go back to 6, 7 milliliters, they behave like real bowling balls.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Time picking up the 10-pin for Jacobs. Don't forget, coming up a little bit later, the women's portion of our regional challenge and also the men's portion of the regional challenge. Extra Frame, the PBA's online video subscription service, has exclusive live coverage of every PBA, PBA 50, and PWBA event. Extra Frame's big February calendar features coverage of 3 consecutive majors: the Firelike PBA Tournament of Champions, the USBC Masters, and the Barbasol PBA Players Championship. 3-day, monthly, and yearly subscriptions are available. For more information, click on the Extra Frame link at PBA.com.
And doesn't Extra Frame cover the Teen Masters, MJ?
Has proudly done so for the last several years. Live coverage.
I have to interject here. We're very fortunate to have a partnership with the PBA Tour. Watching Brandon and Bridget engage with these professionals and having the PBA cover us and allowing these kids to bowl on Extra Frame is, and on the PBA coverage by ESPN, it's life-changing experiences these kids will remember for the rest of their lives. So thank you, PBA.
Thank you, Gary, as we complete the 9th and 10th frame.
Yeah, how many 17-year-olds can say they bowled on television, on ESPN?
2 this year.
Yeah, it's a good nugget to have, you know? What you've done here is you've laid down a great foundation in understanding what it takes to get to that next level. In my opinion, I think that, you know, you've got to have this and this understanding and everything that goes along with it.
Well, what is one of the things that makes Norm Duke so good? He's able to manipulate a bowling ball in several different ways, and because they only have these 2 options, they have to learn those basic skills.
Right.
They have no choice. If you can learn to knock down pins with these balls, it's likely you can do well with the others.
Brandon Sodermasto is our Team Masters Grand Champion. Gary Beck, Team Masters founder, we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Gary, always a pleasure. Thanks for your wonderful insight.
Brandon Sodermasto is the grand champion in the Team Masters, and we will be back. Brandon Sodermasto has added his name to the PBA Challenge Clash at the end of the show, and we will return to Reno. Kayaking right down the Truckee River into downtown Reno. Absolutely beautiful and a great walking path on either side. Brandon Sodermasto looking good, Randy, all throughout.
Yeah, he made some great shots and really made that urethane ball purr. 244, 178.
Kimberly Pressler is with our boys and girls national champions. Kimberly.
That's right, Mike. I'm down here with both of these guys because there really is no losers. These guys worked really hard, and they made it on national television. Bridget, congratulations for making it this far, but Even though it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, how was your experience on ESPN?
Oh, I had a great time. The whole thing was a great experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, I'm sure you have a very bright future ahead of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, Brandon, woo, you made it. So you just earned yourself $10,000 in scholarship money. How does that sound to you?
It's pretty cool.
Now, out of this entire experience, what do you think you've learned most about yourself?
I'm not good under pressure.
I beg to differ. You played very well today. He's a man of few words, but you know what? You have a bright future ahead of you as well. And congratulations on winning the Team Masters.
Thank you.
Proud family. PBA Challenge Women's Regional Final is coming up next. Danielle McEwen versus Angelimar Beasley. The PBA Challenge presented by International Bowling Museum and Hall of Fame, which has a satellite right here at the National Bowling Stadium. Visit it if you get a chance. Kimberly Pressler is with our Women's Challenge competitors.
Thanks, Mike. Angelimar, you just saw Parker win. He's a lefty, you're a lefty. Did you learn anything that you can apply to your match from that match?
Actually, I've been following Parker all my life. He's my idol. And it was a really exciting game because he's also Amlero. He's from Venezuela too. So yes, I'm gonna try to follow his winning. Danielle is an awesome bowler. I spoke with her yesterday. I told her how beautiful she bowls all the time. So let's do it. Yeah, I'm ready.
That's good sportsmanship right there. Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Now, Danielle, you're the #1 seed coming into this. Can you finish it and take the win today?
I hope so. We're gonna feed off of yesterday and everything that we learned and go into today with an open mind and see what happens.
All right, good luck to you as well. Guys, back to you in the booth.
Each PBA women's regional leader was invited to compete in a special match play round at World Series of Bowling 7. The Northwest region leader, April Ward-Wittig, Elise Bolton from the south, Clara Guerrero from the southwest, Rocio Restrepo representing the central, Missy Parkin in the west, Yuka Tsuchiya in the PBA Japan region. 8 games of match play determine our top 2 finalists, Danielle McEwen and Angelimar Beasley. Now Angelimar Beasley will open up our Women's Regional Challenge. Outside the first arrow, brings it back, Parker style.
Beautiful shot. There's a great story that we need to talk about involving Angelimar Beasley and her husband at a regional event. We'll get to that in a minute, but check out this form playing the exact same line that Parker Bone III he was playing, and about the same result.
First look at Danielle McEwen, one of the hottest bowlers on the planet. Just a pinch high 4-pin.
Yeah, Danielle's solid. In fact, coming off of her best season, winning her first pro title in 2015 Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship in Arlington, Texas. Semifinal match, she defeated Liz Johnson and then defeated Stephanie Johnson in the title match.
Our tournament stats are provided by Roltec. And this is 8-game match play averages for today's #1 seeds across the board. Danielle McEwen, 235.5, leading the men. Patrick Allen and Parker Bone III behind, all bowling on the same pattern. This year, Danielle became just the 9th woman in PBA history to win a PBA regional title when she beat the boys at the South Point PBA West Challenge in Las Vegas. Women are able to compete in the regional competition and the women's regional competition. Spare for Danielle McEwen. So she's a winner on the PWBA Tour, a winner in the PBA Regional Tour. Accomplished player at every level, including as a youth. And now in this Women's Regional Challenge Championship match, second frame.
Big-time international bowler as well. She won team and doubles gold at the 2015 Women's World Championship in Abu Dhabi. And a great shot there in the second frame for Danielle McEwen.
Angelimar Beasley winning a pair of PWBA, PBA regional events earlier in 2015 at Liberty Lanes in Carpentersville, Illinois, and in Gastonia, North Carolina, working on the strike, second frame.
Ball.
Double for Angelimar Beasley, and right after she won the women's regional, she bowled with her husband, Mitch Beasley, in a regular PBA regional, and for the first time in PBA history, husband versus wife, Randy, in a title match. And Angelimar fell to her husband 224 to 212 in the title. First time it's ever happened in a PBA regional, husband versus wife for the title. Double working third frame. Light pocket hit, Randy. She shakes them all down, and the Venezuelan's got a little frigo.
Got to be fairly impressed with her start. I mean, first time on national television, and she gets up here and just kind of mixes the rack there. She's perfect through 3 frames. Look at her slapping it off. Fiery Venezuelan. Page out of Amleto Monticelli's book. Love it.
McEwen, third frame, working on the strike. Oh! 10 fall in unison. And here's your Barbasol twin blade close shave of the day.
Piping it right up 7th board. Comes in just a little bit light. Head pin, sidewall. Off the sidewall, a little insurance in case the 10 was still standing. Some great pin action. And some great camera work from our crew.
4th frame. Couple strikes working for McEwen. And just the 10 pin that time.
Another good shot by Danielle, and just a little soft into the pocket, leaving the half 10.
Hated it immediately. Ball in the channel, open frame.
We saw Amleto Monticelli miss 2 10 pins. Now Danielle misses one here in the 4th frame, and what an opportunity for Angelimar Beasley. Here in the 4th frame, she can increase her lead to 33 with a strike.
She is a Venezuelan, 19 member of the Venezuelan national team, 3-time Venezuelan national champion, and 3-time Venezuelan bowler of the year. 4th frame, all strikes.
Quieta.
Jamon!
Jamon.
Jamon.
No, jamon. Spanish for ham. What a great shot. Man, does she roll it nice. Hand up the back, rolls that bowling ball end over end. Watch this, and watch this react.
Quieta. Yes!
Like she's been bowling on TV her whole life. This is great stuff.
Impressive 4-bagger to open in the PBA Women's Regional Challenge. Winner moving on to the PBA Challenge Clash round following our 4 matches.
Oh no.
7-10 split. If Angelimar Beasley converts this 7-10 split, she'll earn the $100,000 ultimate spare bonus courtesy of Ultimate Bowling.
I'm rooting for her.
6 figures to slide one across into the other or out of the back or any which way.
Only 3 have been made in the history of professional bowling on TV. Could this be number 4? How awesome would that be? Do it. Oh.
open frame, Beasley leads by 19 pins and an opportunity for Danielle McEwen.
Mike J, I've always said that the pocket 7-10 split is the worst break in bowling because it's so close to being a strike, but yet you come away with an open frame on something that could have been 10 in the pit.
Chance for McEwen to hop back in. She takes advantage. 6 crushes the 10.
Got a nice comeback after the whiff on the 10 pin. She gets an opening. You know, when your opponent breathes a little life into you and gives you an opportunity, you have to take advantage of that. Danielle just did just that there, but now can she double up? She did strike in the 2nd frame on the left lane, but an open frame in the 4th.
McEwen has seen success at every level of competition. As a youth player, she's a member of Team USA internationally and an All-American at Fairleigh Dickinson University. 6-3 into the nose, big 4 minus the 7.
Left the whole way on that lane, and she pays for it. And the gift given right back to Angelamar Beasley. Right through the schnoz. Big 4 standing, 7 pin goes late.
Angelamar Beasley opening string of strikes to get things started, and she has a lead in the PBA Women's Challenge. Mike Jakubowski with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson and Kimberly Pressler at the PBA Challenge in Reno. Time now for the Ebonite flashback from last season's PBA Challenge and the Clash round. Amleto Monicelli, the PBA 50 champion. Michael Coffey, the Teen Masters Grand Champion. Josh Blanchard, the Regional Champion. And Missy Parkin, the Women's Regional Champion, do battle in the Clash. It came down to Josh Blanchard versus Missy Parkin. Blanchard strikes to match Parkin, and then in the roll-off, Parkin strikes, and Blanchard must strike to carry through on the roll-off. 9 count. Missy Parkin, the 2014 PBA Challenge Clash winner. And in this version of our PBA Challenge, the Clash participants, Parker Bone III, Brandon Saramasto. And who will fill the other 2 slots? Right now, Angelamar Beasley leads Danielle McEwen in the PBA Women's Regional Challenge Championship. Beasley up 33 each player, now working on the open frames. Both splits. Good recovery, splitting the 8 and 9.
Good stuff. Bounce back from the pocket 7-10. She left in the 5th frame, and I mean, she's just labeled every shot. Pretty impressive. First time ever on television. Bright lights of ESPN. And this is just 10 in the pit. It's amazing watching the athletes, you know, throughout the World Series of bowling and all of the events, the way they manage their games mentally as we take a look at her arsenal. Game breaker MVP and Paradox Pearl.
5-stepper. Wanted to crawl back, but no, 3-5-6.
Missed this one just a little bit at the bottom. And you heard her say, whoops. Come on, come on. 3, 5, 6 goes to a plastic ball to attempt this conversion. Nicely done. Well, it's do or die time now for Danielle McEwen. If she wants to get back in this match, she needs to start striking, and she needs to start now. She looks like she's pretty comfortable on the lane. She's going to Bull on now as you take a look at her arsenal. Eternal Cell. It's the left lane that's been giving her problems, but she needs to start striking and string strikes together. Just a pinch inside of target. Doesn't get the trip 4 break. Time running out for Danielle. You see this ball is feathered right up around the 8th board. Just a pinch high.
The PBA Women's Regional Program provides players opportunities to compete against other women bowlers close to home in each of the PBA's 7 regions. The PBA Women's Series competed in 2007 through 2009, and that series made history when Kelly Kulick won the 2010 PBA Tournament of Champions. McEwen trailing by 33. 8th frame. Just a pinch high once again, this time right side spare, 6 and 10.
Not enough buildup in the middle part of the lane to keep the ball on line when you miss target inside. She did it again on that lane, and the only silver lining is that she didn't split like she did in the 6th. Danielle being a down and in player, she's going to look for mistake room left of target versus right of target. And when she doesn't have something to, or if she can't create hold, then she has to look in the other direction. And I think that she needs to create just a hair more angle to the right.
Coming up in the PBA Regional Challenge, Patrick Allen will face Josh Blanchard, winner here in last year's PBA Challenge. 8th frame for Angelimar Beasley. Impressive pocket hit.
Well, I think Parker Bone III gave her some help outside there, playing the same line, using surface, using strong equipment. Parker was out there. He made them look pretty nice, shooting in the 230s. And right now, Angelimar Beasley in full command of this match, up by 35. Parker Bone III, her idol, paving the way. .45-pin lead.
Drops down that left forearm, very similar to her idol as well. Danielle McEwen must strike out for 201. That will not happen. Angelimar Beasley will win the PBA Women's Regional Challenge and advance to the PBA Challenge Clash. Angelimar Beasley rides the front 4 to victory in the PBA Women's Regional Challenge. Now moving on to the final PBA Challenge Clash.
What a thrill for her. She's going to be able to take on her idol, Parker Bone III.
Oh, swooshing the slopes down the fresh powder.
MJ, I'm the guy in the back.
You look good. Your knee is doing quite well. Women's Regional Challenge highlights all belong to Angelimar Beasley.
It really did. I mean, she put on a clinic, hitting the pocket all but one shot. Left that pocket 7-10, was unfazed, ended the game with a 5-bagger for 246.
Kimberly Pressler is with Angelimar Beasley.
Angelimar, that was a pretty dominant performance by you. Not to mention it was your first time ever on national television. Walk us through the match.
I really don't know what to say. I am overwhelming. I'm so excited. I'm really happy. I kind of took the play of Parker, and he worked very much. I just have to work with my balls a little. My husband helped me a lot. He's part of this winning, and it means the world to me, this winning, not only because it's my first television, it's my big PBA thing. It's because tomorrow my dad is going to be 2 years dead, so it's for him.
Oh, that's a wonderful dedication. Now, you can't go anywhere because you still have the PBA Challenge Clash, and you mentioned earlier when we talked that Parker is your idol.
Yes, it is.
You're going to be going up against him. Are you excited about that, or are you nervous about that?
I'm excited. It's going to be whatever happens, it's already a winning. So, you know, if I win, it's going to be awesome. I think I'm not going to sleep for the next week.
Congratulations. Your dad would be proud.
Our PBA Women's Challenge champion, Jellamar Beasley, moves on to the PBA Challenge Clash. Men's Regional is next. Beautiful downtown Reno, and the National Bowling Stadium just off to the left in the heart of the Sierra Nevada Basin. And our PBA Regional Challenge Championship coming up. Patrick Allen takes on last year's champion, Josh Blanchard. Kimberly Pressler is with both of our players. Kimberly.
Thanks, Mike. Josh, you're the defending champion. What's your strategy to hold off Patrick?
Just throw more strikes than he does.
Simple plan. I like it. Good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Patrick, he has a pretty clear and simple plan. What's yours?
Well, his does sound good. I have to keep my tempo a little bit slower than I have been the last couple weeks. I think that's the key for me today.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Guys, back to you in the booth.
Slower tempo from Patrick Allen. What's his regular tempo, and how does he slow it down?
Is that cool? Well, you know, I think it's overall, I think it's medium tempo, but I think he wants to keep his tempo slower so that he can get his bowling ball to read the pattern correctly, and also it helps him to make better shots. You know, when he starts rushing and gets fast, like most players, tendency is to whiff it at the bottom of the swing.
Josh Blanchard will begin, winner here in last year's PBA Challenge. PBA Regional Challenge begins with a strike from Josh Blanchard.
He was walking over there.
Patrick Allen, future Hall of Famer in the Professional Bowlers Association, 45 out of Mount Kisco, New York, 13-time titleist. Going up against Josh Blanchard here in this PBA Regional Challenge. Allen with a big year in the regional circuit. 4 slaps to 7. The PBA Regional Tour was introduced in 1969 as a way for high-caliber pro players to hone their skills in local weekend events to prepare to compete on the National PBA Tour. Final results of the PBA Regional match play as Patrick Allen and Josh Blanchard advance among all 8 points leaders in each of the PBA 8 regions. And also today, non-members may compete in over 170 regionals on PBA lane conditions to test their skills. PBA 50 regional competition also available for players over 50.
Great shot. Won 5 regionals in 2015. It's nice to see Patrick back. Another player that worked with Mike Jasnow here at the stadium. Mike got his swing a little bit freer, shortened up the push away a little bit. Speaking of free swings, here's one right here. Josh Blanchard. Solid game.
Double apiece. Jasnow operates the Lane 81 Pro Shop here. Interesting note about the National Bowling Stadium upstairs, originally conceived as 80 lanes, down to 78, yet the Pro Shop still Lane 81. Strike for Blanchard. 10 additional lanes added downstairs at the National Bowling Stadium in this Kingpin Club. Josh out of Gilbert, Arizona, PBA Tour champion. Back-to-back.
Oh, better
in
hook.
2015. Better hook. Yes. Ask and you shall receive.
Well, he put a good touch on it, and that ball read the right part of the lane at the right time.
It's a good sign.
Why is that a good sign?
because he thought it was going to be light.
Footer. I feel like my ball's hooking the whole lane.
He didn't think that one was getting up to the pocket, and it was flush. So it's a mistake to the right that ends up in the perfect spot. That tells the brain, hey, listen, I've got some area on that lane. I can miss to the right and get it to the pocket.
All strikes. Allen operating in the third frame. Turkey apiece. One of the features of Allen's game has been the loose follow-through that he repeats after the shot.
Here you go, right here. Here's a good look at it. See that follow-through go to the inside? We talked about it with Ryan Simonelli. We see that follow-through going a little bit inside. But Patrick Allen is one of the best at locking in that left shoulder, meaning there's not a lot of shoulder rotation at the release point. You see a lot of players shut down. That shoulder goes in front. For a right-hander, right shoulder goes past the left. But Patrick Allen does a great job of locking that left shoulder in, a lot like Rhino Page.
PA Player of the Year in the PBA Tour in the 04-05 season.
The all-time best at keeping those shoulders from moving and being very quiet with the upper body and the shoulders was none other than Earl Anthony, who used to keep his offhand in front of his body through the whole swing.
Josh Blanchard's arsenal, a couple of 9.0 hook options. He goes with the Code of Honor. That's on a scale of 10. Hook potential. Roller, no, 10.
Half a messenger coming over, leaving the 10. Both players getting to the pocket.
Good thing it's not the shootout round.
Without any issues here. Boy, he really wanted this one. Pretty good shot, but the ball is just a little soft entering the 1-3.
Spare for Blanchard. Won the regional challenge last year when he defeated E.J. Tackett with a 258 game. He went on to win PBA Tour titles back-to-back in 2015. First in Munich, Germany. Followed that up the next week with a win in Portland, Maine. He beat Jason Belmonte in a 3-game total pins match there. Fifth frame. 6 dispatches the 10.
Well, the left lane looks like the good lane for the right-handers. And Josh Blanchard. Josh can miss up the lane and have it hold on, and he can miss a little right and have it hook back.
Amy Blanchard providing support. This is Josh Blanchard. PA's got the front 4. And here's a look, Randy, at his arsenal going with a pair of options.
IQ Tour Edition on the right lane, Uproar on the left lane.
PA owns a couple of major championships, 2005 World Championship and the 2009 Tournament of Champions. Front 5 for PA.
What a season he had back in 04-05 when he made $350,000. It still stands as second highest single season earnings in tour history. He went on to win Player of the Year honors for that season and a major championship. And it sure is good to see him back in bowling like the PA of old.
One time, brother.
One time, indeed. Front 6 for PA. Patrick Allen is perfect. Patrick Allen increases his lead to 21 pins over Josh Blanchard. Can Blanchard overcome that deficit and win the PBA Regional Challenge? Patrick Allen up 31 as the Regional Challenge rolls on. Josh Blanchard has faced tremendous challenges on and off the lanes.
So on my first ESPN telecast, I did fall in the lane. The ball stuck on my thumb, and I slipped. I stepped on the lane and slipped and fell and ended up falling in the gutter. It's actually made me easier to compete out here because I can't do any worse than I did. I can't bowl worse than 130, and I can't do worse than falling in the lane. But it's also gave me a lot of notoriety and a lot of fans throughout the world that say, I've been there, I've done that, you're human. most people on TV think that bowlers aren't human, but I'm very human, and I did something that they've done in the league, and they're embarrassed, but they didn't have a couple million people watching them when they did it. In 2013, me and my wife were expecting our first child, and right at birth, we ended up losing her in the delivery room, and it was pretty emotional on her and I didn't know how it was gonna affect me personally in bowling, but a lot of the guys out here on tour and around the world, the bowling community, really supported me and my wife. That support system really helped us make it through. So if I wasn't in bowling, I'm not sure how we would have handled that. Yeah, now we have a beautiful daughter who's 11 months old, gonna be almost a year, and we have a baby boy on the way. It's gonna be here in 5 more months, so our family's growing, and I couldn't be happier. We still miss our first daughter quite a bit, but my spare ball has her name on it, and she's with me at all times when I'm on the lanes, and sometimes when I lose my cool, she's the one that keeps me calm.
Josh Blanchard and his wife Amy moving past tragedy and now building a family. Blanchard now 6th frame.
Tip up hard.
Needs the hook. Huge break, tripping the too late.
Very good, Josh. Come on.
Just a little fast.
Just quit on it.
Head pin goes to the sidewall and tips the 2 out of the way. Just the 10 pin remains.
Hang on.
Clips it on the right side. Seen a lot of issues with single pins and 10 pins.
I was just going to say to you, seen a lot of 10 pins missed on this telecast.
Head to PBA.com to check out the latest PBA Bowling Challenge mobile game for iPhone, iPad, and Android devices. With more than 15 million downloads, you can join your friends as well as bowl against the top PBA bowlers in dozens of tournaments all over the world.
He's real comfortable in that lane. It's real obvious. I mean, he can miss up the lane. He can miss a little right. That frees the swing up. He knows exactly what the ball's going to do on the left lane when it leaves his hand. Look at that hand underneath and behind the bowling ball. That's just good stuff, man. Great timing, balance the foul line, swings in line.
Patrick Allen, a great 2015. Randy, as you alluded to earlier, 5 regional titles. In addition, he finished 3rd in the 2015 PBA Oklahoma Open, the main event at the Summer Swing. And that marked his first TV finals appearance in a title event since November of 2011. Perfect! Patrick Allen.
Come on, man. I hit the right ball.
And another great shot by PA. The 4-pin just sawed the 7 out. He's got the front 7 up by 41.
PA slapping it off.
Great shot. Great shot by Patrick Allen. Might have an all-lefty sweep with the exception of our Teen Masters champ.
The winner here will move on and join Parker Bone III and Jelimar Beasley and Brandon Saramasto in our PBA Challenge Clash round following. Blanchard stays alive.
And just like in the doubles match last week with his partner Andres Gomez, he's going to try to strike out here and make it interesting.
All you can do is affect your line, fill it up. 259 max left for Josh Blanchard.
Come on, baby. At least the 710 one stood over that chance for 100 grand. Man. God.
Josh referring to the $100,000 ultimate spare bonus. had left the 7-10, but not to be.
Finish it up, Mop. Come on. Get them all.
If that 7-10 was converted, $100,000 would be the bonus. Now Patrick Allen.
Come on. Stick to the plan, man. Stick to the plan. Gotta stay soft. Gotta stay soft.
9th frame, all strikes. Patrick Allen, perfect. He's got 9 in a row.
3 more.
PBA Challenge non-title event, season-ending event for those that earned their way here through points, but a $10,000 bonus still in effect for a perfect game.
I'm just sitting back and enjoying watching this, MJ. I mean, this is vintage Patrick Allen. Front 9.
Let's do it.
Talking to himself. It's just fun to watch. 3 more for perfection. And $10,000 bonus.
He's got 10! And not a bad one in the bunch, Randy.
Yeah, no, MJ, they've all looked pretty good. And it would be a great way to wrap up the WSOB. What a bow tie this would be if PA could somehow pull this off. 2 more.
Just a touch high. 6-pin stands. Allen's in the 280s, and he's your PBA Challenge regional winner. He'll move on to face Parker Bone III and Jellamar Beasley and Brandon Sotomasto in our upcoming PBA Challenge Clash, which is coming next.
Sorry, Randy. Couldn't get hyped up. Gotta pry it off.
$289 for Patrick Allen.
In the 10th frame, I was going to move seats to that one. I thought, dude, he's the most superstitious guy I know. I ain't moving seats.
String of strikes amounting to 10. Patrick Allen, 289. Great to watch PA at the top of his game. The PBA Challenge Clash featuring all 4 of our champions is coming. Sun, clouds, water, pine trees. Whenever you visit Lake Tahoe, you always get something different. One of the most beautiful places on the globe. Time now for the Geico Championship Recap with Randy Peterson.
Hey, Mike. It's Geico Championship Recap time, and it starts with a Hall of Fame matchup. Parker Bone III taking on Amleto Monicelli. He takes down the Venezuelan 231 to 183, throwing 5 out of the last 6 strikes. Then in our Teen Masters Championship, it was Brandon Sotomato. He threw a 4-bagger, ended with a 3-bagger. He shoots 244. He takes down Bridget Jacobs. And then it was the women. Beasley starts with a front 4. Pocket 7-10 didn't even derail her. She finishes with the blast 5. She beats Danielle McEwen 246-177. And in the spectacular match we just watched, Patrick Allen, the front 10. Strike after strike after strike.
Yes! I was in the 10th frame.
A pesky 6-pin was the only thing that stopped Patrick Allen. He wins 289-227. Now let's go down to the floor. And Kimberly Pressler.
Patrick, you were perfect through the first shot in the 10th. Were you thinking about that 300?
I was. Josh bowled a great game. I was just trying to take it 1 frame at a time, though. I wasn't trying to look ahead. I think it was a $10,000 bonus if it was a 300, but, you know, it was nice to just get out here, throw some strikes on TV, which I haven't done very much in the last few years, so it's great.
Lots of strikes tonight. Do you still have a few left in you? Because you have the PBA Challenge Clash that's coming up next.
Yeah, one ball. 9's not going to be good. Got to throw all those strikes again.
That's right. Good luck to you tonight. We'll see you in a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
The PBA Challenge Clash is an eliminator format, and all 4 of our winners will compete. Each player will get a shot, low ping fall eliminated. Any ties, we'll have a roll-off, and we will eliminate 1 player per round until we have our champion. Here's our order of play in Jelimar Beasley, Patrick Allen, Parker Bone III, and Brandon Sotomasto. You may have noticed the spelling of Jelimar Beasley as I-N-N. That is her legal name. She prefers just I-N on her bowling jersey, so it's not a spelling error. It's a stage name, if you will. And now Jelimar Beasley will begin our PBA Challenge Clash. Single ball roll-off. How about that? Right where she left off. Drops 10 down. What a bright smile.
3 lefties, 1 righty in this challenge match. It's been pretty much a common theme here at the 2015 World Series of Bowling. Lots of success for the Southpaws.
Here's Patrick Allen after the 289. Must strike or face elimination. Patrick's got 9. He will be eliminated if everyone else strikes.
Yeah, remember, low count and ties. If there is a tie with low count, they'll have a roll-off. But 1 player will be eliminated after each round.
Parker Bone III, winner in the PBA 50 Challenge. PBA Hall of Famer with his 35th career title in this Geico PBA World Series of Bowling. Parker drops 10.
Parker with a high hard one right at the 1-2.
And Jelimar getting to compete with her idol, and now Brandon Sotomasto.
Working that rosin bag.
8 count, he's out. 9 count, there'd be a roll-off with Allen. Strike, and Allen is eliminated.
This young man's got a great game and a bright future. Now we get to see him throw reactive resin.
And a strike for Sotomasto, and Patrick Allen has been eliminated.
How impressive is that?
Young man must strike, and he does so.
PA, do you realize what that young man just did to you?
Gave him the business, PBA style.
Parker, don't worry, he might do the same to you.
And Jelimar Beasley will kick off round 2 of our PBA Challenge Clash. We'll eliminate another player this round.
In Jelimar. Right there in the face of her idol, Parker Bone III. She turns around and says, take that.
Drops one on her idol. Must strike to keep pace. Sotomasto in the hole. Will finish this round.
Great shot by the Hall of Famer. Now Brandon must strike or he'll be eliminated. This right lane was the pesky one for the right-handers. It was the tougher of the 2 lanes for Josh Blanchard. Let's see if the young man can break the code on this right lane.
Strike would produce a 3-way roll-off in this round. Anything less, and Sotomasto is eliminated. And we have a 3-way roll-off.
Wow.
Young young man came to play. Team Masters Grand Champion.
What a moment for that young man there.
Time for strikes that will remain on the right lane. Beasley will start off.
Boy, he's got great wrist action at the bottom. He's actually playing right of where Josh Blanchard was playing.
Stay there. Oh, okay.
And Jelimar begins the roll-off here in round 2. I'm going to stay on the right lane.
Uh-oh.
Hey, all the way back.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize for pocket hits like that.
Gave it a little bit of room and got all the way back and struck. I'm not sure what hit the 7-pin, but 10 is 10. Oh, hey, give him a shot at that for 100.
Let him shoot at it.
Parker waving goodbye after the pocket 7-10.
Hey, Mop, where are you?
See ya, folks. All right.
The only thing that keeps Parker alive is something less than an 8 count, or an 8 count would force a roll-off with Parker Bowen and Brandon Sotomasto. 9 or better. And Sotomasto will advance with Beasley.
Uh-oh. And we have a tie.
We have a roll-off. Parker Bowen breathed new life.
All right, we eliminated somebody from the roll-off, but these two have to roll off again on the same lane. Parker Bowen, third is first.
Count for Parker Bowen.
Come on, bud.
We could have an idol versus mentee final, or will Sotomasto extend the roll-off?
Better shot.
And the roll-off continues between Parker Bowen III and Brandon Sotomasto.
Let me know when you want the oxygen, sir.
It needs to be here soon.
Oh, and a 7 count opens the door.
Won't be a tie this time.
Come on, Brandon.
Brandon can knock out the Hall of Famer and face Beasley.
Take him out. You can go home and tell your friends you took out the Hall of Famer. Let's go. Patrick Allen.
Still looking on. Tomahawk misses, but Brandon Sotomasto has eliminated Parker Bowen III in multiple roll-offs.
All right, it's down to Angelimar Beasley and Brandon Sotomasto.
Missy Parkin, a winner last year, coming out of the PBA Women's Regional Division. Could we have a repeat ladies winner in this event? Angelimar Beasley will begin. Final clash. All 10 go down.
Seems like all she's done today is throw strikes.
It's a great react. Must strike to extend this clash. Look out. Game over. Back-to-back ladies winners in the PBA Challenge Clash, and Jelimar Beasley, Vests, Sotomasko, and Patrick Allen, and Parker Bone III to win.
Thank you. That was outstanding.
And gentlemen, first of yours, ladies and gentlemen, for all of our competitors, especially your friends.
Congratulations, Jelimar Beasley, PBA Challenge Clash winner. Coming up on the PBA Tour, the PBA DHC Japan Invitational next Sunday at 1 Eastern on ESPN2. All action forthcoming on ESPN. Back-to-back majors, the Tournament of Champions, the USBC Masters, and the Barbasol PBA Players Championship in big February. Geico PBA World Series of Bowling 7 lived up to its billing once again as the biggest international event of the year, producing great memories and great champions. For Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler, and the incredible, hardworking ESPN crew, this is Mike Jakubowski. Congratulations to all of our champions at Geico PBA World Series of Bowling 7. See you next time on the PBA Tour.